Shut up, the Meg. Hi everybody, welcome back to Comic YOUniverse, the only nerd-centric thing you need in your life. And DPZ doing a solo, and yeah. Now I did a review of this on my channel, but I decided, you know what, Universe, you guys need to hear about this movie too. Because, oh boy, this movie. And that movie I'm talking about is The Meg, the latest giant shark movie, and part of the big year of kaiju film. Well, I don't know if the Megalodon counts as a kaiju. It's a prehistoric animal. They just wanted to build it up like a kaiju film. And we've had a whole slew of giant monster films. We've had this movie, technically, Rampage, really good movie. That was a better movie than it should have been, and it was really good. We had the Godzilla anime film. We still got the third Godzilla anime film coming in November. We also had, shit, I think I'm forgetting something. Bottom line, guys, it's been a big year for kaiju films. It's, honest to God, been a big film year for kaiju films. And, yeah, so far this year, the only one I've really enjoyed was The Meg. Not The Meg, excuse me, Rampage. Rampage has been the best so far. I almost, because, yeah, this movie, look, okay, I'm gonna be real straight with you guys. This movie, I actually read the book, Stephen Alton's book, Meg, which was a novel I read in high school, and I really love the novel. And I love the following books, you know, that follow suit afterwards. This movie, and I understand, I don't want to, when I talked about the trailer, I was more or less like, look, I don't want to be this guy, and I'm not going to be this guy. I was like, oh, it wasn't like the book. And I had to disassociate myself from the book while watching this movie. And had to, you know, I'm reviewing this movie on its own merit. The only thing I'm going to bring up about the book is Jonas Taylor and Jason Statham's portrayal as the character of Jonas Taylor. Now, having said that, this movie's not good, guys. This is what, I think the Meg was trying to be what Rampage was, but it kind of failed in that aspect. And it failed in something I talked about here on Topic Tuesday, where I brought up the whole thing of, like, kaiju films need to grow and be different and have a little heart to them now and again, but oh boy, does it fail in that regard. So let's kick things off with Jason Statham as Jonas Taylor. Now, in the book, Jonas Taylor is he's not really mild-mannered, he's more of an asshole. He is kind of an asshole, but he's not really like an action star. He's more like he's like an everyman who is thrown into this kind of situation that he doesn't want to be in. And every time the Meg shows up, he's like, God damn it, why am I here? Why are we still dealing with giant sharks? And, also, the love interest of his, and her father are Japanese, not Chinese. Just another disassociator right there. Also, another thing is oh man, I'm going too far in the book, but basically a few other things. His ex-wife was a reporter who was kind of banging his best friend, and she gets ripped in half by the Meg. You see, the Meg was a horror film. It was, a horror novel. It wasn't treated like an action film. It was treated like a giant shark film in book form, and had a lot of the similarities of Jaws, but just imagine the shark was 60 feet long. The other thing with the Meg is that it also deals with the effects of what it would be like if a single Megalodon was part of the present-day ecosystem, i.e., it wouldn't be good. So that was kind of the big deal right there, was that the Megalodon was treated like, yeah, even though we don't want to kill it, we have to kill it, or it's going to ruin the ocean's ecosystem, which is kind of fucked as it is. So that was the crux of the novel. In here, it's more like, we gotta just kill it, because it's gonna kill people. And that, admittedly, that was the same thing with the novel, but still. What I also found amusing was that they tried to, in this movie, tried to have this big moment. It was like, oh yeah, sharks get killed, thousands of sharks get killed and thrown back in the sea for their fins, to make shark fin soup. And I'm like, oh, don't do this, you don't get to do this. Rampage got away with it because there was some heart to it. Here, you're throwing it in while talking about killing a shark. You are doing the same thing as these people people who are making shark fin soup are doing. Don't try to throw in a message. And also, like I said, the actors who try to convey these messages are not good. Everyone here, even Jason Statham, everyone here is acting like they're just here to get a paycheck. Yeah. I mean, I understand you're doing a giant shark movie, and that's not really great motivation, but at least try to give a fuck, guys. Try to give an honest fuck. Just give an honest fuck, and it will make this movie experience a lot better. Now, the only actor who really does seem like he's having fun is Rainn Wilson, who, funny enough, he plays an asshole billionaire, and it's funny because I watched Death of Superman a little while ago, the animated film, and he plays Lex Luthor in there. So I was like, he's playing Luthor twice. That's funny. But no, he's clearly the one who's having the most fun here. Everyone else just feels like, even when there's having supposedly these heart-to-heart moments, I'm like, wow, you clearly do not give a fuck about this. Even the kid actor is like, I don't want to be here. Alright. Now, there are some good scenes in here. There are some nice little scenes here and there of, when Jonas is out in this water and he's trying to find the Meg and he puts on his goggles and he keeps bobbing his head up and down through the water to find the shark. It's a nice little tense moment, and I'll admit, it's nicely shot and it does build up the tension, but really, those scenes are few and far between. They don't do anything majorly special with the shark. Although I will give it this, is that I'm not going to spoil it, but there is a nice little reference to Jaws that, only diehard Jaws, only if you're a diehard Jaws fan, you're going to get that reference. You're going to catch it, and it took me a couple seconds to be like, oh, I know where that's from. Okay. And it's not blatant, it's really like, it's a blink and you'll miss it kind of reference. So I don't want to spoil that. You guys got to go look for the Jaws reference yourself. There's actually two. There's two, and I don't want to spoil them because they're like, it's fun to find them for yourselves, and it's not like it's not like a Jaws blatant reference to you're gonna need a bigger boat or something like that. It's like things that homage the movie. So I give it credit for that, for doing smart references to Jaws, where they could have easily just ripped off lines. They could have easily done that. Oh yeah, let's talk about another major element. So the story is that Jonas gets brought back to find his ex-wife in here, who is sunk at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Well, he saves her, and they forget about her for an hour. They don't mention her again until an hour into the film. There's no character interaction or, hey, how's my ex-wife, or anything like that, because I feel like they generally forgot that character. Also, there's another character he saves, and that character gets killed. And yeah, these characters are like cannon fodder, and I get it. Some monster films, that's what characters are, to be food for the giant shark, or what have you. But yeah, these characters are so badly written, you clearly are like, oh no, I'm sorry, what was that guy's name again? Yeah. Also, another character in here by the name of, I forget his character's name, but JD. No, the character's name is JD. I can't remember the actor's name. He is clearly the biggest one who does not give a fuck about being in this movie. He gives he gives -1 fucks about being here. And you even saw it in the trailers. So, yeah. Also, another thing is that all that big shark action you saw in the trailers, yeah, that's not until the third act. And I understand Rampage did the same thing, but Rampage had some good action scenes that were sprinkled throughout the film. In here, it's kind of like, oh yeah, a lot of the third act stuff is where the meat is, where the quote-unquote meat is. Excuse the bad pun. But anyway, so yeah, The Meg is not a good film. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's definitely like you're better off renting it. This is a rental, guys. If you really want to see it, my dad actually, I didn't want to see this from the get-go, but my dad dragged me because he was more excited to watch it. And it's funny because he thought, The Meg was going to be a masterpiece, and he had no intention of watching Rampage. which was a bad move on his part. And we actually watched Rampage the day before, and he liked it, and he was like, oh my god, Rampage was better than that garbage. So, yeah. I know this review was all over the place, but this movie was all over the place. What the fuck do you expect from the guy who directed the National Treasure movies? Honestly, I would have been fine with Eli Roth's, Eli Roth was meant to do this movie, which honestly Eli Roth is just a gore fest, but this movie was supposed to be a gore fest. The book is really fucking gory and treated like a horror novel. At least with Eli Roth, you would have gotten, your pound of flesh, so to speak, and the character development would have been right there with it, because he's more of a gore guy, which is fine. But it would, the novel would, just feels like something in Eli Roth's wheelhouse. So anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below. If you've seen the Meg, comment below, let me know what you guys think of this movie. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed this review, and once again, I will see you guys later in the universe.